Hello, I hope you're doing beautifully well today. Today's video is a little bit different than the ones I've been sharing over the last few weeks. It came up because of something that I was working through this week, and also it came up in one of my groups. Somebody was kind of also in this place of just feeling a little bit stuck. I found myself one morning this week feeling stuck in a particular area of my life, and so I did some EFT on it. And as I was doing some EFT, I thought, this is a really common thing, that when there are things in our lives, whether it's our health or our career or our relationship with our finances or our relationships, sometimes there are aspects in our lives that it feels like no matter what we do, we can't seem to get ahead. And so, some people have a hard time with a particular health issue that no matter what they try, it never gets better. With some people, it's with their finances. No matter what they try, it just never changes. They never seem to get out of the hole. Or with relationships, and it's like oftentimes what we feel is the sense of stuckness, the sense of hopelessness. And I've known these places in my life when it just gets so painful, and frankly, you just end up feeling tired because you've been trying so hard to shift this thing and it's not budging. And so it makes you sometimes lose hope, to lose faith that it can ever change. And you hear a lot of messaging out in the world, especially as it regards to some health conditions. You hear a lot of messages that it's never going to change. This thing that you have, you're going to have it for life. And you hear it from your doctor too. And so we buy into the messages that it's never going to change, that it's hard, when we've had then experiences that no matter what we try, it does feel hard. It can be crushing. It can be crushing. I experienced it for certain with my acne. For over a decade, I tried to resolve it, and it wasn't budging. And then I'd have these massive breakouts, and it's just so devastating when you just feel like you've given everything you've got, and it's still not shifting. So when we're in this place of this, kind of deep despair sometimes, when you're just kind of like, you wake up one of those mornings when it's like, I'm just so tired and I don't know that I'm getting ahead. And chances are you probably are, but because we're not there yet, or you're not there yet, you feel the discouragement that you're still not where you want to be. So when I find myself, and this week it was kind of light, but I found like, I'm feeling a little bit stuck in my work. I have all these visions of the things that I want to do and the things I want to accomplish, and I'm not there yet. And I just felt like this deep sense of it's not working, and it was all too familiar. So I know that at those times, those mornings when I wake up like that, I do some EFT, because rather than get in my head and trying to fix or trying to work really hard at it, doing EFT is just about being present with what it is, with what I'm feeling. And invariably, I know that EFT will get me to the other side, where I just feel lighter. It doesn't feel so crushing, so heavy anymore. And I start to feel a little bit more energized again. And oftentimes, the sense of hope returns. And that's what happened for me this week. I did some EFT, and afterwards, all of the stuckness, even feeling of depression, the heaviness, the gloom lifted, and I was feeling so much better. And I thought, you know what, I need to share this on the YouTube channel and do EFT for those who want to continue watching and do this EFT track with me. We'll kind of work through some of these feelings of stuckness, these feelings of hopelessness, of just being dissatisfied with the current situation, whatever it may be. And again, it could be your health, it could be your finances, your work, your career, you're feeling stuck in your life journey, wherever it may be, that you're just not where you want to be, and you've been trying your darndest and it's not shifting. And we have a little lawnmower in the background, so hopefully it won't interfere with our EFT. And if we can hear it, then we'll just let it be perfect in the background. So if you're not for the EFT, you can stop watching now. But here we're going to dive into doing some EFT for this feeling of stuckness, of dissatisfaction, of hopelessness, of losing faith, of feeling tired of trying. So the way we always do EFT is you start by measuring, assessing on a scale of 1 to 10, how intense is the feeling. So start with how dissatisfied you're feeling with this in your life. And so just give it a number internally on a scale of 1 to 10. And then check with yourself on the hopelessness. How intense is the hopelessness on a scale of 1 to 10? And then see if there's any feelings of depression on a scale of 1 to 10. And again, 10 is the highest it can be, and there's the lawnmower. Okay, so the lawnmower is moving away. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is the highest it can be, check in on a scale of 1 to 10, how intense is the dissatisfaction with this thing in your life? How intense is the hopelessness you're feeling right now? Is there any depression on a scale of 1 to 10? How about the feeling of losing faith? Losing faith that this will ever change. How about the tiredness on a scale of 1 to 10? Tired of trying. So tired of it. Tired of trying on a scale of 1 to 10. And sometimes we feel pain. It's painful to be in this situation. So if there's pain registering for you on a scale of 1 to 10, how intense is that pain? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start tapping. If you're not familiar with tapping, I'll post the link to my how to do EFT video below this, and then you can come back to the spot in the video if you need a little tutorial. If not, you can just follow along with me. So we start tapping on the side of the hand, and you repeat after me. Even though I feel so dissatisfied about this, and I'm so tired of trying to change it, and I'm feeling hopeless, I still love and accept myself. Even though I'm afraid I'll never be able to change this, and that thought is so painful, I can't bear this any longer, and I often feel hopeless. I still love and accept myself. Even though I am so tired of trying, I have done all of the things, and I'm still here. It feels like a dark cloud that's always with me. And I'm so dissatisfied with this. I still love and accept myself. Okay, so now we tap with 2 fingers on the eyebrow point and we say, all of this dissatisfaction. Tapping outside of the eye, all of this dissatisfaction. Tapping under the eye, all of this dissatisfaction I feel. Tapping under the nose, all of this dissatisfaction I feel. Tapping on the chin, all of this dissatisfaction I feel. Tapping on the collarbone, all of this dissatisfaction I feel. Tapping under the arm, all of this dissatisfaction I feel. Tapping on top of your head, all of this dissatisfaction I feel. Tapping on the eyebrow point again, this dissatisfaction about this in my life, and think about the area of your life that you're dissatisfied. Tapping outside the eye, all of this dissatisfaction about this in my life. Tapping under the eye, I'm so tired of trying to change it. Tapping under the nose, I've been working so hard at changing this. Tapping on the chin, I've done everything I can. Tapping on the collarbone, and it's still not changing. Tapping under the arm, and I'm so tired. Tapping on top of your head, what is it going to take? Tapping on the eyebrow point, I'm so afraid it'll never change. Tapping outside of the eye, this fear that it'll never change. Tapping under the eye, this fear it'll never change. Tapping under the nose, this fear it'll never change. Tapping on the chin, that fear is crushing. Tapping on the collarbone, this fear it'll never change. Tapping under the arm, I lose hope sometimes. Tapping on top of your head, I lose hope sometimes. Tapping on the eyebrow point, this fear it'll never change. Tapping outside of the eye, this fear it'll never be what I want. Tapping under the eye, and I've been trying so hard. Tapping under the nose, I've been trying so hard. Tapping on the chin, and it's painful that it hasn't changed. Tapping on the collarbone, it's so painful it hasn't changed. Tapping under the arm, it's so painful it hasn't changed. Tapping on top of your head, it's so painful it hasn't changed. Tapping on the eyebrow point, sometimes I slip into despair. Tapping outside of the eye, sometimes I slip into despair. Tapping under the eye, all of the despair I feel sometimes. Tapping under the nose, all of the despair I feel sometimes. Tapping on the chin, all of the despair I feel sometimes. Tapping on the collarbone, all of this despair. Tapping under the arm, all of this despair. Tapping on top of your head, all of the heaviness of the despair. Tapping on the eyebrow point, all of the heaviness. Tapping outside of the eye, all of the heaviness. Tapping under the eye, all of the heaviness. Tapping under the nose, all of the heaviness. Tapping on the chin, it's like this dark cloud is with me. Tapping on the collarbone, this dark cloud that's with me. Tapping under the arm, all of this heaviness. Tapping on top of your head, all of this heaviness. Tapping on the eyebrow point again. What would it take to create something new? Tapping outside of the eye, what would it take to create something new? Tapping under the eye, what would it take to create a new experience? What would it take to create a new experience? Tapping on the chin, what has this been here to teach me? Tapping on the collarbone, what is this here to teach me? Tapping under the arm, what message do I need to extract? Tapping on top of your head, what message do I need to extract? Tapping on the eyebrow point, what message do I need to extract? Tapping outside of the eye, what is this here to teach me? Tapping under the eye, I'm willing to receive the message. Tapping under the nose, I'm willing to receive the message. Tapping on the chin, I'm willing to receive the message. Tapping on the collarbone, I love myself enough to create something new. Tapping under the arm, I am willing to create something new. Tapping on top of your head, what will it take to create something new? Tapping on the eyebrow point, what will it take for me to shift so I can create something new? Tapping outside of the eye, what will it take for me to shift so I can create something new? Tapping under the eye, how can I soften around all of this? Tapping under the nose, how can I soften around all of this? Tapping on the chin, how can I soften around all of this? Tapping on the collarbone, what will it take for me to feel lighter about this? Tapping under the arm, what will it take for me to feel lighter about this? Tapping on top of your head, what will it take for me to feel lighter about this? Tapping on the eyebrow point, what will it take for me to feel lighter about this? Tapping outside of the eye, what will it take for me to feel lighter about this? Tapping under the eye, what will it take for me to feel lighter about this? Tapping under the nose, what will it take for me to feel lighter about this? Tapping on the chin, what will it take for me to find my strength and power? Tapping on the collarbone, what will it take for me to harness my strength and power? Tapping under the arm, how can I harness my strength and power? Tapping on top of your head, how can I harness my strength and power? Tapping on the eyebrow point, how can I harness my strength and power? Tapping outside of the eye, how can I harness my strength and power? Tapping under the eye, I'm willing to harness my strength and power. Tapping under the nose, how can I embody my strength and power? Tapping on the chin, how can I embody all of my worthiness, strength, and power? Tapping on the collarbone, how can I embody all of my worthiness, strength, and power? Tapping under the arm, how can I embody all of my worthiness, strength, and power? Tapping on top of your head, how can I embody all of my worthiness, strength, and power? Okay, and now take a deep breath and let it out. And now calibrate on a scale of 1 to 10 how dissatisfied you're feeling with this in your life. Notice if it's shifted. Notice how hopeless you're feeling on a scale of 1 to 10, and notice if that's shifted. Check your level of depression and see if that's shifted. And what about losing faith? Notice on a scale of 1 to 10 how strong that is. And how strong on a scale of 1 to 10 is the tiredness of trying. So just notice what you notice. Notice what shifts, if it's all the same, if it's higher or lower. Sometimes when it's the same after doing EFT or it's higher, you've either kind of opened up the pool of dissatisfaction and pain that you were kind of trying to shove aside. And sometimes there's something bigger that's gotten activated. Maybe there's physical pain that you're dealing with, and so the physical pain got a little bit stronger. So just notice, it's all information. And if this helped, I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear what it did for you. And of course, I'd be delighted if you shared. Shares, likes, and subscriptions are always helpful. One of my most popular EFT videos was one from several years ago. And it's because people comment and share it and like it that it keeps it alive for other people to watch. So if this was helpful to you, I would so appreciate a comment and a like and maybe a subscription. And if you're needing more help with this, this is what I do. This is what I'm here for. I can help with this and dive with you deeply into the pieces that you are feeling unable to shift right now. So much love to you. Hope this helped. And I hope you have a little bit of a ray of sunshine shining down on you a little bit more than maybe 15, 20 minutes ago. Have a lovely day.